Hello everybody, welcome to Discovering Music with Jay. Today we are checking out some more 21 Pilots, and we have downstairs live at the I think it's Bellwether? Bellwether? I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. But yeah, super excited to get into this. I just checked out for the first time Stressed Out the other day by them. Enjoyed that. Very curious to see what we have here. I do know this is, I think it's their newest released, part of their newest released music from this year. I didn't really look much into it other than that. So yeah, I don't know where we're going to get here. As always, if you would like to see any type of artist, genre, band, let me know in the comments below. And if I haven't seen them, I'll add them to the list and we'll check them out. We'll see what we got with that, right? So without further ado, I'm interested, very curious to see what a live performance from 21 Pilots in the year 2025 is like. Let's get into it. Well, first impression, it looks like either they've been playing or this is a very emotional track for them. So, could be both, honestly. Wow. I didn't expect that. Wow. Wanna be the one after your own heart. But I might doubt the process like I doubted the start. So I'm begging. Ooh. I'm sorry, bro. Chills already. Wow. I think too, it's like I could just feel like the atmosphere, right? I could feel it in the air. It's kind of crazy. Okay. Damn. Mercy. I'm begging, mercy. Oh, that was a sick drop. Wow. There might be pauses, a lot of pauses, and going back in this one because some of the way he's delivering these lines is killer. Yeah, I love that grit. Let's go, bro. Oh. Ooh. The emotion, too, he hits the emotion on some of these words fantastic, too. Like, he delivers them so well. Wow, that drop hits like crazy. Their energy, honestly, like, yeah, you could tell they're seasoned performers, too. So good. Wow. Such a good voice too, man. I never knew, I should say. Bro, putting a scream in here like that? Shut up. That's crazy. Wow. Wow.
Down there, it's some shelter from the weather I wear. All of my heart on my sleeve.
Hear the crowd too. That's how you know, man. Okay, dude. Wow, holy. Wow.
All of me and all I've ever known. You can have both my lungs if you ask me so. 'Cause I want to be the one after your own heart. And I might doubt the process like I doubt the start.
Oh my God. Wow. I'm just going to let it play out. Wow, dude. Full body chills. Full body chills. That was fantastic. Man, I really have been sleeping on 21 Pilots, man. I never knew. Like I said, I stayed in that pocket of music that I listened to for years and never really ventured out, and only recently started listening to stuff outside of it, and I was like, man, let me check out 21 Pilots, right? So good, though. So good. And what I like, too, is, like, this is a fantastic live performance for so many reasons. First of all, the energy. And the energy is, you could feel it, like, radiating right through the screen. It's kind of crazy. And, this to me is, like, this is how you should live perform. No matter what type of genre you do, I want to see you have this connection to the music that you put out as much as these guys do, right? Because if you're telling me, like, if you would have just gave me the idea of, like, hey, yeah, there's two members, right? One's playing drums, one's on, like, a keyboard, and that's it, I would have been like, is that really? You know what I mean? Like, if you just give such a vague description like that, it's like, I don't know, right? But when you see it live, and when you watch just, like, the emotion, right? The raw, just, like, energy, and just how much the lyrics mean. Because the lyrics mean a lot to him. You could tell, right? And so I'm going to cut away for a minute. I'm going to bring up the lyrics, and we're going to talk about that. But this, as a performance, like, the way he delivered lines, the way he put certain emotion, especially the build, right? The way the song built, and it got to the part where he's standing on the keyboard, right, on the piano, however you want to describe it, and he is the guttural screams, right, which takes me back to my metal days, which I haven't listened to really metal in some time, but, like, I was in high school, the full death metal screamo, even other stuff like thrash and that. I was full on metalhead. So that it was cool, man. He has a really cool scream, and what I like too about the scream here is it was placed efficiently, right? It's not just there just to it's not 100% screaming, which is what I actually got kind of tired of listening to metal because of that. I got tired of groups just having growls and screams throughout the whole thing, and it just didn't feel special to me. Like that is like, ooh, I wasn't expecting it. And he put it in a place that mattered, that emotionally charged him, and that was good. So, like I said, I'm going to bring up these lyrics. I'll be right back. All right, so here we are back again. I pulled up the lyrics and I've done a little bit of like light digging here. But so we have Downstairs. Downstairs apparently was originally a demo of theirs that they had sitting on Josh's computer for 14 years. He basically asked Tyler, like, hey, do we finish the song? Tyler was like, I don't know, that's kind of crazy. But they finished it and realized how good it actually is, and that's how it kind of happened, right? So, according to what I could find, Downstairs is a heartfelt track about the metaphorical downstairs, a cellar which the speaker hides his beliefs and emotions from others and possibly himself, with mentions of being unholy and crying out for mercy. The lyrics invoke religious imagery, like some of the band's other songs, and paint a picture of the shame felt from withdrawing from one's religion. The song was a demo known by fans as Korea for 14 years, living only on drummer Josh Dunn's laptop before being reworked for Breach. At the album listening parties, Tyler detailed how I just talked about earlier, how it was a 14-year-old demo and stuff like that. So if we look at the lyrics, it is very much like that. You can have all I've made and all I've ever known. You can have both my lungs if you ask me. So definitely does seem like that sort of sacrifice and that one's willing to make. It actually reminds me too of Hurt a little bit by Nine Inch Nails, but more specifically the way Johnny Cash sung it, right? Which I have heard that version where he talks about his empire of dirt. You can have it all, because it's almost like willing to give away this because of so much like hurt and pain, and stuff like that. Talks about, being downstairs. I feel better in the cellar down there. It's some shelter from the weather. I wear all of my heart on my sleeve. I'll take what I believe and I'm hiding it. So I do think, it's hard to really have, what's the word I'm thinking? Just like decent conversations with people a lot of times on the internet. In life, it's a lot better, right? But when you're on the internet and, you have if you're such a huge public figure, which 21 Pilots are massive, clearly, right? Like, their streaming numbers, their YouTube views are, and I'm sure their album sales are ridiculous, right? So when you're in a public spotlight, you are under a microscope so much more than anyone else, right? And I think it's crazy to me how, like, that, celebrity status is still such a thing, because it's like, there are people who, these people started, at least, if you're talking about most musicians, they started from the ground, you know what I mean, and worked their way up to, it's not like they became overnight successes just out of nothing, they put so much into it, a lot of them. And when you talk about 21 Pilots, especially from the very little and brief things that I've seen, they put a lot into it, right? They craft stories, they have these such deep-rooted connections. So it's hard. And when you are someone who wears your heart, on your sleeve, the world can be a very brutal place, right? It almost makes you just want to do what he said, right? Be honestly, literally, just kind of hide away in a place that is like a safe area. You know what I mean? Feeling like I'm nothing, feeling like I'm run down, was afraid of nothing, now I'm just ashamed how I hide my face from you. So this does sound like, he was almost very much judged and kind of cast out in a way, right, of his religious beliefs, possibly, and how people looked at him in a certain way. right? That's what I take from it. And so there was a time where he was just like putting on a face, right? Almost being fake in a way. I don't want to say being fake necessarily, because I think when you are in a spotlight, right? And I've heard you, I mean, you hear people in the industry talk about this a lot if you just listen to a ton of interviews, where a lot of times when you go on stage and stuff like that, you are kind of almost a different person than who you are off stage, right? Because you're kind of channeling the more, you're channeling more, or you're, it's like such a huge extension of what you really are. So I could definitely understand, changing that to being something that isn't, who you really are, and then you kind of are afraid if that's, you know, and ashamed if it's not something that you really gel with. And then stuff like, oh, what have I become? Dirty and wretched one. Am I unholy land? Have I forced your hand? So a lot of these, right? Talking about hiding it, and I'm hiding it, yeah, because I want to be the one, and I'm hiding it, yeah, after your own heart. And I might doubt the process like I doubt the start. So definitely you could feel, you know, the deep rooted meanings here. And what I found interesting too is when Tyler was talking about putting this out, he had said that like he thought it was crazy because it's an old song. I'm different now. I've changed. But once he finished it, he realized how awesome it was. So it was almost kind of like a awakening to him, right? In a sense, it's almost like this was something that was like, oh yeah, like this actually does have a lot more to it than I realized or that I remember. For as much as I changed, there are things about it that I think could still be told here. So this is good, man. I like this. Their performance was fantastic. Like I said, they're seasoned performers. You can tell, but it also helps when you have such a connection or you can emotionally express a song so well. And this was like a performance. This man didn't just play, right? He didn't play and just sing. He put everything into it. You could feel it in the screams and the growls when he leaves the piano keyboard, however you want to talk, however you want to call it, and was just like kneeling on the ground. He was feeling it, man. And the crowd, whenever you have a crowd that like is fully singing like that and are loud like that, because it is a more packed venue, right? A smaller, like compact one. But still, like the power behind all of it was just fantastic. So yeah, this was really good. As always, thank you guys for the suggestions. Keep them coming, and I will see you next time for some more music. Peace.